afternoon, USPBL fans. It's Sunday Fun Day here at Jimmy John's Field on Father's Day, presented by Detroit News. Alongside Brady Beaton, I'm Tom Cavanaugh. We're set for a great one today. It's the East-West battle between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths.
Hot and humid here at Jimmy John's Field for tonight's Friday night matchup between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. I'm Brady Beaton, joined by Tom Cavanaugh. Tom, coming off the heels of another exciting Mammoth win. They've won 4 in a row, the last 2 in walk-off fashion. The first time it was Francis Florentino. This time it was Drew Fleming in a 1-0 victory.
It was Florentino last Sunday, Fleming in a 0-0 deadlock tie going into the bottom of the 9th. A pinch hit opportunity for the kid, and he goes yard on the first pitch that he saw. I was in the stands yesterday watching as a fan, and boy, was it a great game. We had 2 great starters in Nate Blaine and Garrett Bonnet. Bullpen did their job. We saw some great plays from Seth Gurgley, Nick Pastor. All around great baseball, but Fleming was the hero, his 2nd homer of the year.
Mammoths have usually gotten done with their offense, but it was the pitching. 4 different pitchers pitched for the Mammoths in the victory, but again, Drew Fleming was the big story. 1 pitch, first one he saw it, turned on it, put it over the left field fence for the exciting win. 4 in a row, and now the Mammoths are just a half game out of first behind these Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
And against these Hoppers, they've had a pretty good track record this year. A 3-0 record against the Hoppers this season, dating back to last Sunday with that Florentino walk-off bomb. So these Eastside Diamond Hoppers got to find a way to crack the code of what this Westside Woolly Mammoth team is and try to find a win against them, but they got the best man going for them today.
Absolutely. We'll get to that in a moment. Last time out, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers did pick up a win in a non-public game against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, so they have since bounced back from that loss against the Mammoths last Sunday, looking to keep their winning streak, or start a new winning streak rather, here tonight against the Mammoths. And again, Pierce Banks on the mound. He has been absolutely electric, hands down the best pitcher in the USPBL early in the season.
It's really not close. I know we got guys like Greg Loken in the league as well, but 35 strikeouts to just 5 walks with a 151 batting average against. Pierce has gone twice this year, 5 full innings with less than 2 hits in his outing, 11 strikeouts his last time out. Boy, Pierce has been dominant in this league. He's been picked and signed before in this league. He's trying to do the same exact thing, and boy, he's putting up the numbers to do so.
Absolutely part of a 3-headed monster for the starting rotation for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Couple that with their offense, led by Noah Marcoux, who's maybe been the best hitter in the league. There's a few contenders for that, but Marcoux's numbers are right up there with the best, and a great supporting cast around him. This Diamond Hopper team can pitch their way to wins, they can slug their way to wins, and they're looking for a big one tonight.
You talk about Marcoux. He's got 19 hits on the year. 9 of those 19 hits are extra base hits. It's incredible. And if you afternoon, USPBL fans. It's Sunday Fun Day here at Jimmy John's Field on Father's Day, presented by Detroit News. Alongside Brady Beat and I'm Tom Cavanaugh. We're set for a great one today. It's the East-West battle between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths.
Hot and humid here at Jimmy John's Field for tonight's Friday night matchup between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. I'm Brady Bead, joined by Tom Cavanaugh. Tom, coming off the heels of another exciting Mammoth win. They've won 4 in a row, the last 2 in walk-off fashion. The first time it was Francis Florentino, this time it was Drew Fleming in a 1-0 victory.
It was Florentino last Sunday, Fleming in a 0-0 deadlock tie going into the bottom of the 9th. A pinch hit opportunity for the kid, and he goes yard on the first pitch that he saw. I was in the stands yesterday watching as a fan, and boy, was it a great game. We had 2 great starters in Nate Blaine and Garrett Bonnet. Bullpen did their job. We saw some great plays from Seth Gurgley, Nick Pastor. All around great baseball, but Fleming was the hero, his 2nd homer of the year.
Mammoths have usually gotten done with their offense, but it was the pitching. 4 different pitchers pitched for the Mammoths in the victory, but again, Drew Fleming was the big story. 1 pitch, first one he saw, turned on it, put it over the left field fence for the exciting win. 4 in a row, and now the Mammoths are just a half game out of first behind these Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
And against these Hoppers, they've had a pretty good track record this year. A 3-0 record against the Hoppers this season, dating back to last Sunday with that Florentino walk-off bomb. So these Eastside Diamond Hoppers got to find a way to crack the code of what this Westside Woolly Mammoth team is and try to find a win against them, but they got the best man going for them today.
Absolutely. We'll get to that in a moment. Last time out, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers did pick up a win in a non-public game against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, so they have since bounced back from that loss against the Mammoths last Sunday, looking to keep their winning streak, or start a new winning streak rather, here tonight against the Mammoths. And again, Pierce Banks on the mound. He has been absolutely electric, hands down the best pitcher in the USPBL early in the season.
It's really not close. I know we got guys like Greg Loken in the league as well, but 35 strikeouts to just 5 walks with a 151 batting average against. Pierce has gone twice this year, 5 full innings with less than 2 hits in his outing, 11 strikeouts his last time out. Boy, Pierce has been dominant in this league. He's been picked and signed before in this league. He's trying to do the same exact thing, and boy, he's putting up the numbers to do so.
Absolutely part of a 3-headed monster for the starting rotation for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Couple that with their offense, led by Noah Marcoux, who's maybe been the best hitter in the league. There's a few contenders for that, but Marcoux's numbers are right up there with the best, and a great supporting cast around him. him. This Diamond Hopper team can pitch their way to wins, they can slug their way to wins, and they're looking for a big one tonight.
You talk about Marcoux. He's got 19 hits on the year. 9 of those 19 hits are extra base hits. It's incredible. And if you tally up the top 4 hitters on this Hopper team, guys like Ben Ferguson, Zeb Roos, Noah Marcoux, and Matt Gehrig, 59 RBIs between those 4 guys alone on this team. It's incredible stuff. And 2 teams in this league, in the Unicorns and Beavers, have not scored that many runs as a complete program. So you just got to tip your cap to the best hitters on this Hopper team. But you're right, they can get it done in a multitude of ways.
It makes Ryan Kotke's job, the skipper for the Diamond Hoppers, job a lot easier putting the lineup together. But on the flip side, it almost makes it tough because you have so many good hitters. Someone has to hit 7th, someone has to hit 8th, but there's just so much talent up and down that lineup. A couple guys, I mean, who else can we talk about? Because everyone has been thriving for this team. Zeb Roos getting back in the swing of things after missing some time. He's another welcome addition to this Hopper lineup.
Yep. And you guys like Brian Schellenbarger too. He's an opposite field threat from the left side of the plate. And also Todd Maddox. He's been on the come up offensively, and his defense at third base. He had 8 putouts in a game last week. He's good stuff too. So it's a full team. It's the most complete team in the league, and we've got the top 2 programs going at it today in the USPBL.
Cruz will be going for the Mammoths. Not a lot of sample size to go off of for him, and he'll be asked to navigate this tough lineup.
Yeah, the crafty lefties only got 2 starts on the year, 3 innings apiece, but you look at the hits against, just 4 hits on 3 runs through those 6 innings, so Trey's pretty dominant as well. A 171 batting average against for Trey, and he's still just trying to get his feet wet. He was recovering from a little arm soreness a couple of weeks ago, and he's getting back in the groove, but even with Trey going a couple of innings, you have the bullpen, guys like Luke Drummond and others that have been awesome for this Mammoth team. I'm really excited for today, Brady.
Should be a fun one on a Friday night fireworks spectacular here at Jimmy John's Field. We'll take a break, come back with more on the pregame show next here on the USPBL Network. Rain has finally moved out, and we're going to get some baseball in tonight. The Eastside Diamond Hoppers, the Westside Woolly Mammoths for you here on the USPBL Network. First pitch coming up shortly, but first, let's take a look at all those sponsors who make this broadcast possible. Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, Corewell Health, Dave & Buster's, DTE, Fifth Third Bank, Jarbcom, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Refrigeration, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealer, Pepsi, United Wholesale Mortgage. Thank you so much to all those sponsors that make this broadcast possible. Tom, I'm glad the Rain's come through because this is a matchup you and I have both been looking forward to.
We've been waiting for it. Last time we saw these two teams square off was last Sunday. A dramatic come-from-behind finish for the Woolly Mammoths, a two-run walk-off shot from Francis Florentino, and they got a 3-0 record against the Hoppers this year, but Eastside, they're in first place at 10-5 on the year, just a half game back in second place of these Mammoths. So it's a matchup that we mark on our calendars because right now it's the two top teams in the USPBL battling it out.
And some of the top players for both sides as well, and that includes the pitcher for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, Pierce Bank, on the mound as you get to take a look at your starting pitcher comparison brought to you by United Wholesale Mortgage. And while every metric here is going to favor Pierce Banks, and that's not a knock on Trey Cruz. If you put him up against basically any pitcher in the league, it's going to favor Pierce Banks.
Unbelievable. Every single number on there should jump out at you. 35 strikeouts in 24 2/3 innings with just 5 walks. That's some gross stuff right there. A 1.46 ERA, and the biggest number that pops out to me besides the strikeouts is the batting average against. Both of these guys are nearly unhittable, but Banks, he's only given up just 13 hits in those 24 2/3. And he's looking for another hot start today. As we're going to get started a little bit late. Banks on the mound right now. He's throwing his bullpen on the field because the tarp is on the bullpens. So a little on-field practice here for Pierce as we're going to get started a little bit late.
And again, those numbers for Pierce Banks tell you, all right, he's not going to walk you. He's going to fill the strike zone. He's going to miss your barrels. You're not going to hit him hard. Swing and hope, I guess, is the strategy against him. And then for Trey Cruz, just not a lot of sample size. Hasn't been completely healthy the whole year. So still looking to build up that resume here in 2024.
Yeah, he just has 2 starts, and both times he's been out on the field on the mound, he has thrown 3 innings apiece. Now he's only given up 4 hits, 3 runs in those 6 innings, and 1 extra base hit. But also, 3 walks to 3 strikeouts in those 6 innings. It's not terrible stuff, but one thing I will say today, Brady, is because we're starting late and it's going to be a shorter ball game today, just because of how the game's going to go, the strike zone is going to be bigger. They're going to be calling more strikes, I think, because they're going to want to help try to move the game along a little bit, considering we have a little bit of a timer on us today.
Folks, we appreciate you bearing with us, and we ask that you keep bearing with us because there might be some adjustments made as the game moves along. It's not going to be an exact science. We're hoping that we get at least 6 innings in. We'll mention all the different rules we'll have today on the other side when we come back. But they're finishing up player introductions, getting ready for the national anthem. We'll step aside, come back with starting lineup and first pitch when we return here on the USPBL Network.
The USPBL powered by UWM baseball games at Jimmy John's Field are the fun and family-friendly experience you won't want to miss. Entertainment every week, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks every Friday, live music Saturdays, and Sunday fun days for the kids. Kids run the bases after every game, and parking is always free. Come see the stars of the future at Jimmy John's Field. Get your tickets today at uspbl.com.
We're Greg and Amy from Macomb.
We've been in our house 24 years now, and I said, well, if we do new windows, we're doing the whole house.
I was tired of the dingy beige.
Shelby Construction came along, and the project started, roof was done, and then the windows, and then the siding and trim, and everything kind of went smooth.
Everybody has come up and complimented us.
Now that our project's done, every time I come home, I feel like we just pulled up to a brand new house.
Call 833-6SHELBY.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Back here on the USPBL Network, National Anthem has been sung, and we're getting ready for first pitch between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. The Mammoths are the road team in this matchup. They come into the game with a record of 8-5 overall. Let's meet their starting nine. Leading off tonight in left field, Jose Cedeno. Batting second out in right, Francis Florentino. The third outfielder bats third in center field, Nick Pastor. The hero from a night ago, Drew Fleming, in the cleanup spot playing first base. Fox Liam, the designated hitter, bats fifth. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Colby Seltzer. Behind the dish, batting seventh, Zach Beadle. Cordell Dunn Jr. is over at the hot corner at third base, batting eighth. And Alex Garbasic bats ninth at shortstop, as the fireworks from the National Anthem still holding a light fog over the ball diamond. As here's Pierce Banks, and again, once again, these numbers, Tom, are just video game-esque for Pierce Banks. It makes Ryan Kotke's job a lot easier on days where Pierce Banks goes to the mound.
Yeah, with 11 strikeouts in your last start, I'd say that's pretty good. Banks has been on fire the last 3 or 4 times out, if not every single time out on the mound, but he's working a very simple mix of pitches. Attacks you with the four-seam fastball about half the time, and then some changeup, curveball, and barely the slider. But that fastball he's going to challenge with a ton of guys today. Considering he's only walked 5 with 35 strikeouts, Brady, you mentioned it earlier, he is going to fill up the strike zone and attack you. And these Mammoth hitters better be ready to swing it today after an hour rain delay.
And the Mammoths, although are known for their offense, going to have to hit some balls hard, especially if they want to get it by this defense presented by Three Dimensional Services Group. In the outfield, left to right, Ben Ferguson, Zeb Roos, Bryant Schellenbarger. On the infield, Todd Maddox at the hot corner, Bailey Martin, Blake Van Diver make up the middle infield. Noah Marcoux, the big power bat, over at first. And it's Whit Hughes, the Emmett native, behind the plate, receiving for Pierce Banks. And Tom, as I was mentioning, this Mammoth offense, although usually the side that gets it done, they relied on their pitching to get them to the ninth, and then one Drew Fleming swing scored the game's lone run.
Yeah, they had a lot of great relief guys yesterday. Luke Drummond came in a big spot. Jacob Meyer pitched yesterday as well. We might see him today. But you're right, carrying that 0-0 ball game to give Fleming that pinch hit opportunity, that's all you can ask for.
Jose Cedeno in the box. Count 1-1 to Cedeno. First pitch finally at 8:18 in the evening, an hour and 13 minutes past scheduled start time. As the 1-1 pitch misses low. 2-1 to Cedeno. Good average, has not found that extra base power yet this year.
He hasn't, but he leads the team in hits with 14. A really hot couple of last games for Cedeno.
There's a drive to deep right center field going back Roos, and he makes the catch. Ball hung up just a bit too long. 100 miles an hour off the bat, not too much for Zeb Roos, tracking it down in one of the deepest parts of the field.
Hey, there's that extra base power from Cedeno, but too easy for Zeb Roos getting there in time in the gap. It doesn't seem like, as Roos was tracking that ball, the water in center field and in the outfield is affecting him at all. Guys are got some good traction on the grass right now, and nice play by Zeb Roos, one gone.
How about that? You sit around for an extra hour after warming up. First play, you're asked to take a perfect route, make a great jump, and he made it look fairly routine out in right center field.
And the first batter of the game swinging like that after being down and not swinging for a while.
Florentino hits a ball that's well foul but well gone, as he absolutely crushed that thing just way out in front of the 77-mile-per-hour changeup, and it's just strike one, Tom.
Francis looking for a bounce-back day. He was 0 for 4 yesterday, but still one of the best players in this league.
Now he fouls one off on the right side of the field. So let's see if he can average those out and put one right back up the middle.
And it's not really close when it comes to RBI production for this Mammoth team. 16 RBIs for Francis. The next closest is Dre Williams-Nelson with 8.
1-2, way up high with the fastball. But Florentino, he's been very hot or cold. There are some games where you might as well just walk him even if there's guys on base, and there's other days where he's gettable.
Yep.
2-2. Swing and a miss. 92 at the letters. Overpowers Florentino, and it's 2 up, 2 gone.
And that's what we mentioned pregame. Pierce Banks is not afraid of Francis Florentino whatsoever. Challenges him with the fastball that he knows is mid to low 90s, and he can get a swing and miss, and it's exactly why Pierce has been so good. That's his bread and butter all year long. Another strikeout for the kid.
2 up, 2 down as Nick Pastor comes to the plate. One thing worth noting, that with a little bit of standing water in foul territory, if any ball were to make its way into the standing water, it would be a dead ball, ruled basically as out of play. So the good news is it's deep in the foul territory. We know how big these canyons of foul grounds are at Jimmy John's Field, so there's a little bit of room to work with.
Yeah, the only in-play standing water is on the warning track in straightaway center and left field, and it's very, very tough if they were able to get it there on a ball in the gap. But also, Brady, the fact that this water is, or the grass is so damp, the ball's not going to skid on the grass as quickly as it usually does. So these guys in the gap will be able to cut the ball off sooner.
2-1, misses away to Nick Pastor. 3-1. As Banks has to take a moment to tie the shoe. I can empathize with that. I was never good at tying my shoe. I was always the kid that had the game stopped for tying my shoe.
I had the Skechers straps.
See, that's what I needed. I just never had it. Pastor fouls it away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yes, Velcro would have been my friend. I know at one point with my baseball cleats, I just got tape and athletic tape and put them around the middle of my cleats just so I would hold the laces down. They didn't come untied after that. 3-2. Swing, and it's fouled away. Pastor battling, as there is a large contingent of fans that waited the hour rain delay, picking up some of the great food around the ballpark. Some loyal fans here in Utica. 3-2, misses just below the knees, and Pastor reaches on the 2-out walk.
It's a spot Nick's not usually familiar with, batting in the 3 spot. Usually batting first or second. He's got to work a 2-out walk right there. That's a tough pitch to lay off. Credit to Nick Pastor not allowing Banks to get him to chase there a little bit low.
And that brings up Drew Fleming, the hero from a night ago. He saw exactly one pitch, and he put it over the left field wall. First pitch misses just a hair high, 1-0.
That pitch that Fleming hit, I heard you on the call yesterday, Brady. That was not a strike.
No.
Low and inside, he went and got it.
And Fleming, just such a strong batter. He's able to almost muscle it out, an imposing presence in the box. 6'6", Davison native.
Yeah, he gets into that lower half and drives the baseball.
1-1, wave and a miss. Pastor down to second. The tag didn't get him.
5th stolen bag of the year for Pastor. He continues. He's leading the team. Check that. Cedeno leads the team with 6. So he's just 1 behind.
Here's another look as Hughes had a quick release. Took a little longer on the transfer than I thought, but that ball got to second in a hurry. If it's on the other side of the bag, I think they have a chance to get him.
Definitely. It took that one hard skip on the wet grass and just to the wrong side of the bag. He had to catch and reach over to the opposite side of second to try to lay the tag down.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away with a runner on second. The 2-2. Strike 3 called. Fleming was frozen, and he doesn't really have any complaints. That was dead red center cut as Banks allows a 2-out walk, but nothing more. We head to the bottom of the 1st. Hoppers get their first hacks when we come back on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. We're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Slide into a new home.
Bottom of the 1st. Diamond Hoppers coming to bat, 10-5 on the year. Leading off their second baseman, Blake Vandiver. Batting second at shortstop, Bailey Martin. The big bat of Noah Marcoux in the 3 spot. He's over at first base. Matt Gehrig, the designated hitter, bats 4th. Batting 5th, the left fielder, Ben Ferguson. Batting 6th in center field, Zeb Ruse. Already saw his prowess out on the field. Batting 7th, the right fielder, Bryant Schellenbarger. Batting 8th, over at third base, Todd Maddox. And the catcher, Whit Hughes, rounds out the Diamond Hopper lineup. They will face the left arm of Trey Cruz. And as we have mentioned, just not a lot to go off of for Cruz so far this season. Hoping to find a little more footing. I mean, heck, with this game possibly being abbreviated, if you can go 3-4 innings, it could be the majority of the game.
That's perfect point right there. He took the words out of my mouth. Considering we're not playing a full 9 likely, Trey Cruz needs to have exactly the same type of start that he had over the last couple days, or last couple outings, I should say, with 3 innings of work, maybe 4, but only 4 hits in those 6 innings, as we mentioned pregame. Trey Cruz, he's going to mix up some of these lefties, as there's a few in the lineup today with Ferguson, Marcoux, Schellenbarger.
And a lefty in Blake Vandiver gets us started. First pitch pulled. No! It was in and out of the glove of Drew Fleming. He almost overdove that one.
Yeah, I think he did. It caught him on the heel of the glove, and he tried to bobble it and keep it back on his body, but just away.
And he was in that in-between spot because if he doesn't dive, he doesn't get anything on it. As here's another look. It was a tough play off the handle. And that long frame just stretched out a bit too far. Quickly 0-2 to Vandiver. Lefty-lefty matchup as the 0-2 delivers. Fouled away, Vandiver stays alive.
Yeah, there's going to be some soaked baseballs today. That is for sure.
Yeah, a lot of fresh pearls will be used.
Yep, especially with some standing water in behind home plate on the backstop and then down both lines in front of the dugout.
Strike 3 called. And, well, you mentioned it earlier, Tom, an expanded strike zone, and Blake Vandiver, an early victim of it.
That's a good pitch from Cruz. Maybe a little bit off, but you got to give credit also to the catcher, Beto, for framing that back onto the zone. Can't ask for a better start if you're Trey Cruz, a 4-pitch strikeout.
Here's the defense behind Trey Cruz, brought to you by 3-Dimensional Services Group. Jose Cedeno, Nick Pastor, Francis Florentino make up the outfield. Cordell Dunn Jr., Alex Garbasic, Colby Seltzer, and Drew Fleming left to right on the infield. And it's Zach Beadle behind the dish for the Westside Woolly Mammoths here on a Friday night. 1-0 to Martin. Missed 2-0. Cruz, again, a very simple mix, much like Pierce Banks. A lot of fastballs from Cruz and a dead even mix of the changeup and slider. 3-0 to Bailey Martin.
This is only going to expand his tied for first in walks. He's going to be first in walks if he's able to get on here.
20 walks on the year for Bailey Martin. So those numbers you just saw a moment ago, 222 average, no, they're not great. But when you add 20 walks to it, which is now league leading, in fact, all 3 of the top spots in the USPBL are occupied by Diamond Hoppers, with Martin being first. Big reason why the Hoppers put up runs.
And you know who he's tied with? The man at the dish. Or now not tied with, Marcoux.
He
with
broke
19.
the tie.
Yeah, he just did.
Difference is Noah Marcoux is hitting .462 with 4 bombs and 16 RBIs to complement those 19 walks.
Nearly half of his hits are extra bases. There's a ton of pop in this left-handed bat. Trey Cruz has to be careful on how he pitches to Noah right here.
Next pitch misses outside. So our lead data intern, Devin Wiles, puts together a beautiful league leader sheet. I couldn't get through everything that he has bolded for Noah Marcoux in this at-bat. It's probably legitimately 20 different categories, from simple things like RBIs, walks, or total bases, to more advanced metrics such as WOBA against righties, OPS, slugging, things like that. The 1-2 flared foul down the left field line, but Marcoux, safe to say, having a good season if we had to nutshell it.
You want to put one word on it, it's good. But you'd think in a situation on a lefty-lefty matchup it probably favors your pitcher, but with Marcoux, he leads the league in OPS against lefties, that's something. He's first in batting average against left-handed pitchers as well.
2-2. Have to be careful with a runner on first and 1 away, bottom of the first. 2-2. Fouled straight back. Marcoux not going down without a fight.
Martin also second in the team with stolen bases at 6. Has not been caught yet. Only man above him is Zeb Roos, who we'll see later this inning maybe.
Cruz comes set, off for second. Martin, the pitch misses. The throw down to second, skips in. So there's another steal for Bailey Martin. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away for Noah Marcoux. Here's another look. Martin, a great jump. Beadle didn't really have a chance. Perfect hop off the mound, by the way. 3-2. Ball 4, and now a tie again for first in the league in walks as Marcoux gets it right back-to-back base on balls from Trey Cruz. Have runners on first and second with only 1 away for Matt Gehrig.
I got a feeling they're going to continue to battle with that stat all year long. And now for Trey Cruz, you strike out the first man in Blake Vandiver, who does not go down looking very often, and then you have back-to-back walks. Try to find a way to correct and go back to the challenge pitches you were given Vandiver to open the ball game.
First pitch misses up high, 1-0. Gehrig, 283 on the year, 3 long balls. Cruz has to be careful. Now behind in the count, 2-0. You can't walk him. You also don't want to give him a cookie right down the middle.
Right, you got Ben Ferguson looming on deck as well, tied for the team lead in RBIs with 16. He's the last person you want at the dish besides Marcoux.
2-0. In the dirt, 3-0. And Trey Cruz pitching himself into a pickle here in the bottom of the first.
And when he's on and throwing strikes, he's one of the best, especially how he started off against Vandiver. He just hasn't found the zone these last few ABs.
Swing and a ball hit up into the heavens. On the right side, Florentino comes in. He calls off a Seltzer, and that is a big, big out number 2.
Yeah, it is. Instead of having the bases loaded with one gone, you get Gehrig to pop out to the shallow right field area. Good bounce back from Trey Cruz after back-to-back walks.
Brings up Ben Ferguson. Let's see if that gives Cruz a little more confidence, if he can find the zone a little bit. Ferguson, you can still be a little patient. That was a 3-0 pitch that was in the zone. Starts off Ferguson missing low and away, 1-0. Next pitch, called strike at the knees.
This is a spot where Ben Ferguson thrives. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Comes up clutch. That's why he's got 16 RBIs.
1-1, late swing and a miss. And Cruz is a pitch away from negating a couple of walks here in the first. Cruz set, the 1-2. In the dirt, and it gets away from Beetle. Everyone will move up 90 feet. Martin to third, Marcuda second. 2 RBIs sitting out there for Ferguson.
Yeah, that pitch just caught a piece of the left protector of the leg shin guard of Beetle, and it just kind of squirted underneath him to the right side. Got to find a way to get this out here. Ferguson, a base hit away from scoring 2 runs.
Two-two, 3-2. Fastball missed high and in. Should Ferguson reach, Zeb Ruse would be next.
We mentioned there's no weak spots in this Hopper lineup, so even if you walk a guy like Ferguson, you avoid him, but then the next guy in Ruse.
Chopper right side, and Fleming in one motion catches it, steps on first. Couple of runners in scoring position, but nothing more for the Diamond Hoppers. We've played an inning, still scoreless here on the USPBL Network.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARPCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARPCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARPCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarpcom.com.
Top 2. Still daylight and still scoreless here at Jimmy John's Field as Fox Liam, Colby Seltzer, and Zach Beadle come to the dish for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Pierce Banks didn't have too much trouble in that first inning. Sands a walk, hasn't given up a hit, and he was what we expected.
Smooth sailing, 2 strikeouts for him, as you just said. Very expected out of Banks. 11 strikeouts in 5 innings his last time out. It's always tough to have double-digit strikeouts in any outing whatsoever, but Pierce with 2 in the first, he's going to look to continue that as he faces the back half of this Mammoth lineup.
Fox Liam, he's basically been a roulette wheel where he's going to bat in the Mammoths lineup. He's batted leadoff at one point. He's been mostly in the middle of the order. Hasn't found a ton of pop in the bat this year, but man, does he get on base.
13 walks. He's got more walks than strikeouts on this season. As you're right, doesn't have a ton of hits to show for it this year. Does have a double and a homer on the season, but he's got a great eye. Walked again yesterday, and he continues to find ways on base. He has also scored 6 times this year.
Liam starts it off with a breaking ball in the zone for strike one. One ball, one strike to Liam. Now that first inning's behind us, I think you'll see both sides start to settle in and get into the groove of the game. Baseball, I mean, you know, there's so much routine going on before a game. All the pregame stuff that these players do, it starts 3 hours before. So when you're getting ready to go out on the field and they go, nope, tarp's going on there, it's going to throw guys off their rhythm a bit.
You get a little tight, you know. You got to stretch out. We saw guys doing sprints in the right field, outfield there. And Banks as well, he probably was getting warm, ready to go. And then, obviously, tarp comes on. He's got to get loose, redo some bands and some extra throwing.
3-1. Missed. And Fox Liam, he gets on base. Leadoff walk for Liam. Second walk already from Banks. A bit uncharacteristic from the righty as Colby Seltzer comes to the dish.
I mean, considering he's only walked 5 guys in his first 24 and 2/3 innings, he has 2 through 1 full frame. I mean, maybe a little bit of the rain or the soggy I guess infield and pitcher's mound might play a little bit of role into it, but I don't know. We have not seen this from Pierce Banks as he's walked 2 now, and that was a 5-pitch walk to Liam. Usually he's very competitive in every at-bat he has.
First pitch hits off the glove of Hughes, brings it in, fires down to second, and they can't glove it and bring the tag on. Hughes was on it all the way. Liam got a late jump, and I don't know if he gets him, but if that throw's gloved, there's a chance he's out.
Definitely. That was a good throw off the grass that just took a 1-hop bounce right at second base, and it just snuck underneath the glove.
So I think technically that would be scored as a pass ball because it hit right on Hughes' glove. It just popped up. The 1-0. Breaking ball in for a strike, and Liam wasn't off with the pitch, so it's not a stolen base.
I think he thought that it popped up behind him, but it just went vertically up.
You don't see that very often. 1-1, wave and a miss from Seltzer. Pulled the string on him.
Now Banks is going to get back to his bread and butter here. After 2 walks, you can almost guarantee he's going to fight back and stay ahead of the next couple hitters.
Banks looks in, comes set, works from the first base side of the rubber. Checks Liam a couple times, delivers. Breaking ball misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Banks was looking for it with the slider. 2-2, check swing. Did he go? No, says the field umpire.
That's such a tough spot there right up the middle to make that call. It's not on him, obviously. It's because of the position that he is in. It's kind of a coin toss whenever you have to offer to the field umpire that's right up the middle at second base.
It's basically the same angle as the home plate umpire.
Yeah.
Next ball fouled down the third base line.
I feel like if you're a taller home plate umpire too, you should have a better angle looking at, you know, overseeing the plate and seeing it before offering down to second base. But that's also the call of the field umpire because the catcher has to offer for it.
Right. And just being in that spot makes it tough. We just need to get that ball that was grounded into the corner. Rolled a long way.
Big shout out to Matt Gehrig all the way trotting down there to grab that baseball.
Check swing, and they're saying he went. Seltzer did not like it. I don't know if he didn't like it. He was hustling as if it was strike 3, but thought maybe it was ball 4, or he held up.
Yeah, if he wants to, that's a tough thing right there because you swing and you take that half check swing right there. You want to try to run it out if they do call it, but at the other side of the coin, you want to try to sell it like it's a ball. So it did look like he came out of the box to try to avoid the tag from Hughes and not so much of a walk. But right there, Pierce Banks getting back to his his regular ways. 3 strikeouts now through an inning and a third.
He's faced 6 batters, only one's put a ball in play.
Yep.
And that was Cedeno, and he hit the ball pretty darn hard. First pitch here to Zach Beadle, misses in on the hands, 1-0. The 1-0 popped up, perhaps playable. Long run for Marcoux, and, well, I think the giant lake out there, the 6th Great Lake here in Jimmy John's Field, made him think twice about it. So again, if a ball that's in play goes into any of that standing water, it is treated as out of play, as if it went in the dugout. It's a dead ball and you move up 1 base. 1-1. Missed a bit high. 2-1.
A little too much late break from Banks on that one.
Next pitch finds the low inside part of the plate. I don't know if Beetle liked that call. You can see the look of displeasure on his face. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second, Fox Liam. 2-2. Grounded foul. Beetle battles.
And it finds another puddle. Nice. That's just how it's going to be today.
Honestly, it's not going to be did it find a puddle, it's did it avoid it.
Right.
With the it came down hard. There was about 15 minutes of the best way to describe it is torrential.
It was coming down sideways.
2-2. Fouled straight back. Had a few fans in the front row flinching.
And they're making Banks work here. Just threw 1 out in the 2nd inning. He's already at 40 pitches on this next one. So it kind of unconventional from Pierce Banks throwing a ton of pitches early on. These Mammoths are making him work.
The 2-2. Swinging a foul tip off the glove of Hughes. And when 5 of the first 6 guys either walk or strike out, that's going to naturally lift that pitch count up.
Right. And all the strikeouts, besides maybe 1, have been long strikeouts. Florentino went to a 2-2 count. Fleming, he went to a 3-2 count. And same thing with Seltzer. He was 3-2 when he struck out swinging.
A lot of our interns hard at work here today. I have a feeling there's going to be using a few towels. 2-2, hit high in the air, but not deep. Going back, Martin. He brings it in about 20 feet onto the outfield grass, and there's 2 away.
Beetle battling through that at-bat. Just got underneath the ball a tad. He had the day off yesterday, so got to readjust and get back into the swing of things today in a shortened ball game.
Brings up C.J. Dunn. Looking for his first hit here in the USPBL. Cordell has driven in a couple runs, but has not found that first base knock. Lifts one deep to left field. Ferguson goes back to the corner, and it's foul. That one just kept hooking, Tom.
Yeah. At first, it looked like it was right on line for the 315 sign in the corner by the Chevy Pavilion, but it kept going. And we don't have a lot of wind right now. When the rain was coming down, it was pouring with rain coming on sideways because of the wind. Right now, American flag is at rest. And it's not influencing the baseball tracking through the air.
No, just like last night, the air is still. It's heavy tonight. Although traditionally and scientifically, I guess, when it's more humid out, the ball travels farther. So although the air feels heavy for the ball, it's going to slice through it a little easier.
Yeah, with the games that we've had, though, with wind blowing out, 5-6 home runs in a ball.
I don't know if we'll see that.
Nope.
Especially with these pitchers on the mound. 2-1 to Cordell Dunn Jr. Alex Garbasic, the 9-hole hitting shortstop, waits on deck. Liam, it feels like a lifetime ago, walked to lead off the inning. 2-1. 2-2. Front door breaking ball. Just nips the inside part of the plate.
Pierce is not afraid to throw that pitch in any count. Down 2-1, you're at risk to falling to 3-1, and he snaps that right on the inside corner. A lot of confidence from Banks on the mound right now.
2-2. Strike 3 called. Had Dunn frozen. So a leadoff walk, but nothing more. 4 Ks already on the day for Pierce Banks. We head to the bottom of inning number 2 here on the USPBL Network.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
When it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Home Brewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Scoreless here in the bottom of the second inning as a few menacing clouds like to hang over Jimmy John's Field. Coming up for the Diamond Hoppers, it's Zeb Roos, Bryant Schellenbarger, and Todd Maddox, 6, 7, 8 in the Hopper lineup.
A couple of walks in that first inning for Trey Cruz, but he battled back nicely, getting both Gehrig and Ferguson retired with weak contact. Got to stay inside the zone. We saw Banks. He's already walked a few in this game, and so has Cruz, so maybe both sides having some command issues. Got to reel that in the second inning.
First pitch, wave and a miss to Roos. Another really solid bat in this lineup. When your 6-hole guy is hitting 342, is driven in 13 runs with a couple of bombs, life's pretty good for you.
Yeah, there's nowhere else to put him. I mean, every other guy in the lineup is going bonkers right now. And I mentioned a stat in the pregame, 59 RBIs combined between Marcoux, Ferguson, Gehrig, and Roos.
And you look at Roos on the leaderboard as the count goes to 1 and 2. He's second and third in a lot of categories only because Noah Marcoux exists.
Right. He would be a league leader without his counterpart on the same team. And he does it defensively, too. Plays a really solid center field, and he can swipe a bag with the best of them, leading the team.
1-2 way outside. You saw that defensive prowess to lead off the game, taking extra bases away from Jose Cedeno. A night ago, it was Nick Pastor for the Mammoths making a highlight reel catch. And a good weekend for defenders. 2-2, pop back up and out of play.
Yeah, Brady, I was in the stands watching as a fan yesterday, and I saw Seth Gurgley bang into the tarp and the wall.
A very scary play, but he came out of it fine. Made you wince a little as he made the catch, but made it all the same.
Watching him hop off healthy and not hobbling at all, that was good to see from the Utica left fielder.
Very good to see. Swinging a tapper back to the backstop. Cruz and Roos, they're battling.
Both pitchers now up into the 40s nearly as Cruz is getting it near that point here with just the first batter he's facing in the second.
2-2. Swing and a fly ball left field. Under it, Cedeno. Had to wait an extra beat or two for it to come down, but it drops in for out number 1.
Roos just missed it. Just dropped underneath it a tad, and that's why baseball is a game of centimeters and millimeters. If you square that ball up right on the nose, that's going 325 out to left field, but you get an inch or two underneath the baseball, and it's a sky-high pop-up to shallow left at Cedeno.
And that was an 87-mile-per-hour fastball that just wasn't in the best spot, but you're right, Roos missed it. Brings up Bryant Schellenbarger. Watches ball 1 miss away.
That's why baseball's frustrating, too, because it's not like it was a bad swing. He just missed it underneath it a little bit, so you can be positive that the swing was good.
Ground ball back up the middle, and the first hit of the game goes to Bryant Schellenbarger. 101 off the bat, sent it from where it came for a base hit, 1 on and 1 away.
Yeah, Cruz had a tiptoe out of the way of that one. Screamer back up the middle. We talked about Schellenbarger being an opposite field threat, and this time sends it right back up the box.
Big bat in that left side. Looks even bigger when he stands next to Mike Rice, first base coach for the Hoppers, as Todd Maddox comes to the plate. Hitting just a tick under 300 at 293. Again, I'm going to belabor the point a bit, but if your 8 hitter is hitting 293 with 9 RBIs, life's going well for you.
And almost every single man on the roster that swings the bat for the Hoppers has 10 or more hits. You look over at the Mammoths, and they're still a great team, the Mammoths. They score a ton of runs. Only 5 of their hitters have 10 or more.
Cruz behind in the count, 2-0. Next pitch, grounded to short. Picked up over to second for 1. The relay not in time. Ball wasn't hit hard enough to turn 2, but they get the lead runner Schellenbarger. And there's 1 on with 2 away for Whit Hughes.
They made that closer than I thought. Taking a look, it was a slow tapper on a shortstop. Garbasic had to come in, charge, and play it on the side. And a great relay from Seltzer. It was a very close play, but right off the bat, I thought they were just going to touch on to second.
I didn't think they had a prayer.
It was a very quick turn. That's a really good middle infield there between Seltzer and Garbasic. And Alex at shortstop, usually over at third, but that's where Dunn Jr. is playing today.
First pitch to Whit Hughes, called strike, 0-1. Maddox off of first, the 0-1. Swing and a tapper on the right side. Whit Hughes, average at about 217, but when he runs into one, he'll swing and miss a lot, but when he makes contact, it's usually hit pretty hard.
Yeah, he hit a bomb a couple weeks ago out to straightaway left field. He got all of that one.
0-2, wave and a miss. Beadle picks it up from the dirt. 3 pitches is all Cruz needed to set down Whit Hughes, and we head to the third. Still scoreless here on the USPBL Network.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and reset our life around zapping stuff and cheering for stuff with your friends. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Top third here at Jimmy John's Field. Mammoth Diamond Hoppers, well, they're kind of picking up where we left off yesterday. It was a 1-0 affair between the Mammoths and the Unicorns last night. It wasn't until the last batter of the game that we got the first run. And Pierce Banks, 4 strikeouts, no hits through 2 innings of work. He's a big reason why it's still scoreless.
He makes it look easy out there. He really does. And those 4 strikeouts obviously stick out. But he's also got 2 walks today. And this shows that Pierce Banks has such a small memory in his head when he thinks, or a short memory, I should say, when he's on the mound pitching. He doesn't even think about walking those 2 guys. He goes right back to the confidence level that he has to open up the ball game and continues to sequence his pitches accordingly. Really impressive stuff from Pierce. He continues to sit down hitters looking and swinging.
9-1-2 due up for the Mammoths. Garbasic, Cedeno, and Francis Florentino coming to the plate. Banks has walked a batter in each of the first 2 innings. Those are the only blemishes on his record.
Mammoths were also off to a really slow start last night. I think they went the first 3 or 4 innings. First 3 innings without a hit. They grabbed a few late, but I think we saw maybe 9 to 10 hits with no runs to show for it until that bottom of the 9th.
A lot of singles.
Yep.
Not a lot of extra base power until, of course, the home run. Garbasic trying to turn his season around at the plate. Average sitting at 158 coming into it. Has not drawn a ton of walks either, just 5 on the season. The 1-1 lifts it into the air. Routine play for Roos. Trots over and brings it in for out number 1.
And I want to give a huge shout out to our entire grounds crew today that made this field playable, because just watching these outfielders survey their areas out there, I'm not seeing soggy steps or water splashing up or anything. When we did see standing water pregame out in center field, such a great job squeegeeing that water, getting it across the field, and making it playable here today, because if I would have shown up and not know it rained, looking at the field here, I would have thought we were in pristine conditions.
The last 2 nights, really, because yesterday there was a pretty strong storm that came through about 4 or 5 o'clock, and they basically worked up until first pitch to get it ready, and you couldn't tell on the broadcast, or even if you were here, that there wasn't any standing water. They had a little more time to work with, obviously, yesterday, but no, they've been hard at work the last couple of days.
I had no idea yesterday. There were flash floods at my house, but my goodness, that's impressive stuff, because I thought it did not hit downtown Utica whatsoever.
So Cedeno ahead with a 3-0 count. Maybe a little gun shy is Pierce Banks after it was only a fly out, but it was the hardest hit ball he's given up. And a 4-pitch walk to Cedeno, so the 3rd walk in as many innings, and there's 1 on and 1 away.
And that's been a non-competitive at-bat for Pierce Banks on the mound. Everything else has been a strike or 2 strikes, pushing to full counts against the guys that he has walked. But Banks right there, I guess, just forgetting about Cedeno with 1 out, and he wants to face Florentino, who he has had a lot of success against this year.
Struck him out swinging his first time up. First pitch from Banks, hard hit ball past the diving Maddox. That's going to roll into the water in left field. Is it a dead ball? They're going to let it play on, and it's an RBI double for Florentino. And Tom, that went right into the standing water in deep left field. I thought that was going to be a dead ball.
So did I. Ben Ferguson had to put the brakes on in the left field corner, reach back and grab that ball out of some standing water and left. Nice swing from Florentino, but we were briefed before the game that anytime the ball lands inside the water, it's a dead ball with 1 base, which would have given Cedeno home plate and the double for Florentino. Because Florentino had not come close to second by the time that ball reached standing water.
Well,
but Cedeno was at third.
I guess it just depends how they would have ruled it. Yeah, I mean, because if it's a ground rule double or an automatic double, then he wouldn't have scored.
Yeah.
Because he started at first. Florentino off for third. Ball lifted into right field. Florentino has to put it in reverse as Schellenbarger comes in, fires over to second, but Florentino was back in plenty of time. So before we can even mention Nick Pastor, he flies out, and it brings up Drew Fleming.
Another extra base hit for Francis. That's his 8th of the year, 3rd total double, and make it 17 team-leading RBIs for Florentino.
102 off the bat for Florentino. He got every stitch of that one.
Yeah, there was no chance for Maddox at third base. That screamed right by him.
Fleming watches ball 1 get away from Hughes, and another run moves up 90 feet. Florentino over to third. 1-0 Mammoths here in the top of inning number 3.
A couple of hard hit balls today against Banks, and I guess they wouldn't be in this 1-0 deficit currently without those walks from Banks. Something that we have not seen a lot from him. As we mentioned multiple times, in 24 2/3 innings, just 5 walks. He has 3 this afternoon.
I was only giving up the 1 hit, but when you walk a guy an inning, that puts you liable for an extra base hit going to score a run. 2-0 to Fleming.
And even though you struck out Florentino last time, it's tough to get him twice in a row. He murdered that ball down the left field line.
He's not a guy I want to roll the dice with often. 2-0, swing and a slow tapper, could be a swinging bunt. Picked up, and Florentino's caught between home and third. The fake tag, the dive, did they tag him? Someone make a call. And yes, he did make the tag, says the field umpire. Taylor Jelenkowski is not buying it, and it looks like the inning is over. So a little bit of controversy for our 5th third out of the game, as Florentino caught himself between a rock and a hard place. 1 run comes in to score on the Florentino RBI double. 1-0 Westside as we head to the bottom of the 3rd here on the USPBL Network.
Randy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
One nothing Westside as Blake Van Diver gets us ready in a 1-0 game. Top of the order coming up for the Hoppers.
Got to point out, nice play from Pierce Banks hopping off the mound and having the knowledge to know Florentino was right next to him. I think Francis was trying to sneak by him or wait to see if Banks threw to first. Heck of a play from Pierce as he dove to tag out Florentino heading back to third base for out number 3.
Yeah, not too often you're right in fielder's choice, unassisted one, as Van Diver puts it deep into the left center gap. That one kept carrying. Extra bases for Blake Van Diver, and it's a leadoff double for the Hoppers.
Opposite field swing for the leadoff kid. That ball just continued to go. It looked like Pastor was all over it, and then it just continued to crawl out there in the left center gap. A lot of fade and backspin on that baseball to carry it out there in the gap.
Well, Tom, if you take a look at the flag in center field, it's starting to blow a little bit into the left center gap, and that plus the humidity, it wasn't hit particularly hard off the bat. Just kept carrying. First pitch swinging for Martin, and a heck of a play over at first by Ryan Cockey. How about that?
That's how they keep you young as a first or third base coach whenever you get a ball down there.
1 ball, 1 strike. And he got a nice round of applause from the fans as well. He no-sold it, but he probably felt pretty good about himself. 1-1. Goes to 2-1 with a pitch in the dirt.
Trey Cruz settled in a little bit last inning. Got a couple of a ground ball, a fly ball, and struck out Whit Hughes to end the inning. And gave up a loud swing in the gap to Van Diver to lead this off. But a good bounce back frame in the second after walking 2 in the first for Trey. This is as long as he has gone ever in a start so far this year in the USPBL. 3 innings. If he's able to get out of this, we'll see if he pushes to a 4th.
The leadoff double from Van Diver does not give confidence as that one's hit deep into center field. Pastor ranges back. Easy tag up for Van Diver, as not the way it usually happens, but moves him up to third. He did the job.
Yeah, with the speed of Van Diver and the depth of that baseball out there to straightaway center, and the wind helping carry it a few extra feet. It's a beautiful swing. Gets him out over there to third and 90 feet away from tying this ball game up.
And Noah Marcoux to the plate. Now, he is dangerous. He is liable for a hit or some extra bases. He doesn't need that here. Just a fly ball can get the job done. Nice first pitch from Cruz for strike 1.
I think Cruz is going to stay heavy off speed, stay away from Marcoux here, even though he walked him on 6 pitches last time up.
Quickly 0-2 to Marcoux. Now you can try to get a little cute. See if you can get him to chase at something. Offer at a pitch that he can't do much damage with, make a quiet out.
Just 8 strikeouts on the year. It's tough to get him to chase. Wow.
Make it 9. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and Cruz dispatches one of the deadliest hitters in the league on 3 pitches.
And that's what I talked about early in this ballgame. Trey Cruz is up there with some of the best pitchers in this league when he is all around the zone. You attack Marcoux and send him down 0-2. Then you throw the nasty stuff down low in the dirt that he has got to go after and try to get a piece of. Beautifully executed at bat there from the lefty Trey Cruz.
Matt Gehrig watches ball 1 go by. A weak pop out his first time up. And all of a sudden that leadoff double doesn't look as imposing as that one clipped the mask of the home plate umpire, and Zach Beadle tried to give him a moment to collect himself.
I think it was the other way around.
That hit Beadle?
Yeah, it was the other way around.
I was going to say, because he was going out as if it hit the umpire's mask. I knew it hit a mask.
The umpire saved him the throw back to Cruz there. But yeah, just as Beadle turned around, I saw him shake his head, get his noggin right.
A glancing blow. 'Tis but a scratch. 2-1 to Gehrig.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Deep cut. Well, at least I'm sure there's some parents out there yelling that, oh, come on, that's not that long ago. Hard hit ball, fair down the third base line. We got a tie ball game in the third. Van Diver in to score, Gehrig around first, and the second double of the inning, that's the first run for the Diamond Hoppers.
Matt Gehrig lives in that left field area, going swinging a little bit around the baseball. That was a low pitch below the knees that he was able to go get and kind of curl around the baseball a tad. We'll take another look here. He just roped it down the line. Nice swing from Matt. 2 doubles in the inning. Tie it up.
Brings up Ben Ferguson.
And now make that 60 RBIs between the top 4 hitters on the Hoppers. That's more runs than 2 of the teams in this league have scored all year long.
And 1 to Ferguson. He has 16 RBIs himself.
Wow, nice job by Beadle. I don't know how he kept that in front of him. That was a very short hop, 4 or 5 feet in front of the plate, and he was able to elevate the body and still stick it right back into the ground and not let the ball ricochet away.
Yeah, Beadle, not the biggest body behind the plate, just listed at 5'11", so he doesn't have a lot of that extra size to lean out in front and try to angle it down. That was a nice play. One that won't show up in the box score either. But, you know, I'm sure a lot of the guys watching in that Mammoth dugout are taking notes and appreciating it because it kept Gehrig over at second. Cruz set the 2-1. Fastball called strike. 2s are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away with a runner on second here in inning number 3. The 2-2. Wave and a miss. Beadle, another nice job picking that one as the run comes in to score on the Matt Gehrig RBI double. Hoppers even it up at 1 aside. We head to the 4th here on the USPBL Network.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Fox Liam just did, and you're still out, you got to be able to accept it, move on, and look for your next at-bat.
So as you say that's baseball, they'll make up for that when he has a handle shot that drops in between the first, second, and right fielders that he had no business getting a hit on, or a fly ball that gets lost in the sun or the dusk lights.
My favorites are the swinging bunts that just find their way, sneaking between a few infielders past the pitcher.
I like the chopper that's hit too high that they can't throw it over in time. The one that bounces like 50 feet in the air, and then the shortstop can't wait for gravity to work quick enough. 2-1. Hard hit ball right at Van Diver. All right, let's play I Spy and try to find the horseshoe in Pierce Banks right now, because he's gotten a bit lucky on those last two.
I'm very surprised at all of the loud contact that we're seeing off of Pierce Banks. Jose Cedeno started the ball game off with a laser beam to right center field. Liam and Seltzer just hit a few, and Florentino putting it 101 miles an hour into the corner. A lot of loud swings that we're seeing from Banks on the mound, something very uncharacteristic, but I also think these hitters of the Mammoths are starting to figure him out just a little bit.
A little more rain starting to sprinkle down here in Utica. The umbrellas, the ponchos come out, all the fans in front of us. As it's nothing too hard, but it is a drizzle. But talking about Pierce Banks and those lineouts, as this one's lifted into right field, Tom, sometimes you need a little bit of luck. No luck there as Bryant Schellenbarger ranges over to the line and brings it in for out number 3. The Mammoths, for the first time tonight, go down in order. We're still tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th on the USPBL network.
Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great time at Jimmy John's Field experiencing another exciting baseball game. This ballpark is one of many quality of life recreational assets Macomb County has to offer. And as you leave here today, let me invite you to explore Macomb County's diverse range of outdoor assets by visiting MakeMacombYourHome.com. You'll find that Macomb County's trails are open year-long and available for walking, running, biking, as well as paddling along with Clinton River. In Macomb County, there is something for everyone. Find out more about Macomb County's 4 seasons of fun by visiting MakeMacombYourHome.com. Now let's play ball.
Everyone has something that motivates them to do better. And for me, that's my daughter Shelby. I named Shelby Construction Services after her as a reminder to always run the company in a way that would make her proud. Our goal isn't just to get the job done, but to get it done right. And that means making sure every customer has a 5-star experience. I think how a company treats you is just as important as the finished product. My daughter wouldn't have it any other way.
Call 833-6-SHELBY. That's 833-6-SHELBY.
A bit moist here at Jimmy John's Field as the rain's sprinkling around. There you see the weather right now, humidity up to 85%. Temperatures at 77. That's cooled off almost 20 degrees since warm-ups. It was in the 90s as you can see the rain right below the lights drizzling. It says 30% chance of rain. I'm going to go with 100 because it is. New arm on the mound for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. It's Bo Atkins coming in for Taylor Jelenkowski's club.
And Bo's been one of the better relief pitchers in the entire USPBL, not just for the Mammoths. 12 2/3 innings, 18 strikeouts. He's given up 4 runs on 12 hits in those 12 2/3. Not a lot of extra base hits against Bo with just 2 triples and a double, a 2.13 ERA. Atkins has some serious off-speed stuff, and he, with 18 strikeouts in 12 2/3, misses a lot of bats.
Bo Atkins, the 6'2" native of Riverton, Illinois. You mentioned he missed a lot of bats. What he doesn't miss is the strike zone. Only 2 walks so far on the season.
Yeah, he's going to attack these hitters just like we saw with Pierce Banks. But I want to tip my cap real fast to Trey Cruz in his third start. 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. In a game where he had to wait an extra hour and a half to pitch, he comes out and delivers 3 more solid innings of just 1 run ball.
And if you want to extrapolate it, a quality start is 6 innings and 3 runs allowed. Again, it might be a shortened game, but 3 innings and 1 run allowed. If you would have told him before the game that was going to be his line, now maybe the competitor in him would have said, no, I can go 3 scoreless. But for Taylor Jelenkowski and a lot of the Mammoths, I think they would have figured that's a pretty good spot for them to be in.
Definitely.
Zeb Ruse leading us off. The 1-0, swing and a miss, well behind on the fastball.
Atkins at 92-93 with the fastball as well.
Ruse got under 1 last time, flied out to Cedeno out and left. The 1-1, way outside.
There's that nasty slider from Bo Atkins. I know we've talked about this before, Brady. The MLB average for spin rate on a slider or something like that is around 25 to 2,600. Bo Atkins is around 27, 2,800, which is elite.
And what that's going to do is generate more break as Ruse gets out in front of the fastball, pokes it into left for a leadoff single. So Ruse reaches and Bryant Schellenbarger comes to the plate.
He was sitting on that one. And Atkins is allowing just about a hit an inning with 12 hits allowed in 12 2/3. So he'll get hit around a little bit, but that's because a lot of those fastballs, these hitters are sitting on at times. And Atkins does a nice job of sequencing and mixing up his pitches, but Ruse was sitting fastball. He got it low and inside and ripped it.
So as Tom was alluding to spin rate, basically when you hear someone says they've got a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff, usually it's shown in the numbers with spin rate. That's why when you've heard before about guys using substances to get a better grip on the ball, that's so they can have the fingertips on it longer and rip down on the ball harder on release and get it to be a little spinnier. Ball and a strike to Bryant Schellenbarger. 1-1 game. We're in the bottom of the 4th.
And Bryant sent one hot shot right up the middle his last time up. Want to keep those quick hands going against a righty this time.
Late swing and a miss. 92 got on Schellenbarger in a hurry.
I just got to get that foot down a tad bit sooner. Atkins knows that he's ahead with that fastball right now. He's likely to go with it again on 1 and 2 because he's got Schellenbarger late.
Time called. Schellenbarger regroups. Ruse off of first. Atkins set. The 1-2 off to second, and it's fouled away.
Would have been a tough pitch for Beetle to throw out the runner Ruse, who had a beautiful jump. From my eyes, I could see Zeb kind of leaning towards second right there. Atkins did not even think about picking over at him. Ruse, whenever you see him kind of leaning on that right foot towards second, there's a good chance he's going.
Tom, too humble. He was pointing towards second before that pitch was even thrown. He called it. In the dirt, Ruse scooting up. Beetle to throw down, and it hops away. Seltzer backing up, keeps it from going into center field. But that will be a wild pitch. Ruse was not on the move. So that puts Ruse in scoring position. Schellenbarger a chance to pick up RBI number 9 on the season.
That's just another high IQ play from Ruse at first. He sees the trajectory of the baseball angling down in the dirt. He knows that Beetle is going to have to block the baseball. As soon as he sees it in the dirt, he takes off, and Zach does all that he can to try to zip him down at second.
2-2. 3-2. Easy take for Schellenbarger on the fastball. Way out of the zone.
Good stuff from Brian here. A guy that doesn't walk nor strike out very often, working pretty lengthy at bat here.
He usually attacks one of the first good pitches he sees. As the 3-2 comes, fouls it off the foot. The leg, something. That didn't look good.
He's got the leg guard on there, but it just missed it.
Yeah, I think that caught the inner part of the lower leg area. That can't feel good. maybe right above it.
It was right above it. Oh, that's a lot of bone, not a lot of meat.
Home plate umpires had to take his time a couple times for guys getting hit on foul balls. We'll have the 3-2 once again. Ruse off a second, no one holding him on. The pitch, another foul ball. That one caught a piece of beetle. I think it got the shin guard, so it didn't catch him too bad, but still, it's a danger zone in there.
It is. He's a tough guy, one of the tougher catchers in the league. We've seen him banged up a few times, and he gets right back on his feet.
Next pitch, fouled away down the left field line.
Bryant loves going the opposite way. I'd love to see if Atkins can try to tie up Schellenbarger inside with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball and try to make Bryant keep those hands all the way in and drive something into right field. Favors the opposite side, which is uncommon for a lot of lefties.
Outfield plays Schellenbarger straight up. Once again, in a moment, the 3-2, and it's rolled over to the first base side. Fleming catches it on a face-high hop. Moving over to third is Ruse. So Schellenbarger may be upset with the contact, but he puts it on the right side of the infield, and it's an RBI spot for Todd Maddox.
He did his job perfectly. That ball's down and away. Instead of looking at it for a potential strike three, you never really know considering it's 2 strikes and you want to be cautious. Putting a ground ball to the right side is team concept baseball, and now you got 1 out and have to bring the infield in if you're the Mammoths.
1-1 game in the fourth. First pitch, breaking ball called strike. There's the slider from Atkins. And again, if you're just joining us, we had a rain delay, so this game may be shortened. We're projecting about 6 innings as the ground balls hit to third, and they have Ruse caught in a pickle. Back to the catcher, Beetle. Has it in the throwing hand. They tag him out. Moving up to second is Maddox, and that puts a runner on second with 2 away. Second time a runner's been caught between third and home.
Yeah, Roos was just a little bit too far off the bag when Cordell Dunn Jr. made the play over at third. Because he was 5 or 6 feet away, all Dunn Jr. had to do was sprint right at Roos and kind of take an angle that favored going home.
So I believe that's what, a fielder's choice 5-2-6?
Yep.
If memory serves. Now, Tom, I don't know if you saw this during the college, I believe it was a regional. An LSU player was caught in between, and I really like this method. He dropped to the turf or the dirt and went perpendicular with the foul line. Basically, you're giving as little room to tag as possible, and you essentially do a down up, and reaching down, you only have the width of your body to try and tag, to try to make a catcher that's running full speed to catch you overrun you.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before back in high school. I was a freshman watching the varsity team play, and they had one guy caught up between third and home, and he did the exact same thing. The down up and the fielder at third actually overran him. So when he overran the runner, he just popped right back up and boom, came and scored. That's heads up baseball.
I think you're going to see that a little more in vogue. Baseball coaches can be a little nuts. So whenever they see something, whether it's in a college game or at a pro level that they hadn't seen before, you know that's going into their bag of tricks.
I saw one with Anthony Rizzo the other day. Runners on first and second. It was a tapper between second and third base, and he ran into the baseball intentionally to knock away the double play.
Yes. Whit Hughes strikes out for the second time today, and the leadoff single, well, doesn't come to pass. We're still tied at 1, looking for the second run of the game as we head to the 5th here on the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities.
Where good neighbors do great things.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
I'm Anthony.
BL Network. New arm on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Garrett Brown comes into the game, but a solid outing for Pierce Banks. Gives up the 1 run, strikes out 4. Did walk 3, that was the blemish, but overall, not a bad few innings for Pierce.
Not a bad outing at all, and he had quite a stat that was broken. Back on May 25th of this year was the last time Pierce Banks gave up an earned run. That's 17 innings of work of unearned baseball. So tip your cap to Pierce Banks. He didn't have as loud of a day as he did last week with 5 innings of work with 11 strikeouts, but he still found a way to keep this a very close ball game at 1-1 through 4.
In comes the righty from Madison, Alabama, Garrett Brown into the game, and well, he's been no slouch either for the Diamond Hoppers.
He has not. Brown is filthy. 8 innings, 9 strikeouts, 2.25 ERA. A team best 111 batting average against for Garrett. A lot of swing and miss, but he does have a high walk rate with 8 through 8 innings.
Best in the league with opponents slugging, so that means when they do get hits, the majority of the time they're singles. The few hits he has surrendered. Brown comes at you with a fastball, a slider, and on rare occasions he'll throw a bender at you. Fastball that he almost shot put it into the left-handed batter's box. Count goes to 1-1 to Cordell Dunn Jr. It's Dunn Jr., Garbasic, and Cedeno. 8-9-1 due up for the Mammoths here in the 5th.
CJ struck out looking against Banks last time. He faces another right-hand pitcher.
1-1. Lot of break on that slider. Just missed above the zone. 2-1 misses to 3-1. So Dunn hasn't even worked a walk yet in his limited time. A 3-1. Ball 4, and Cordell reaches base to lead off the 5th.
And Brown was averaging a walk an inning, and he gets that out of the way early against Dunn. But good to see Cordell getting on base. He was 0 for his first 11 to start the year. And with 4 strikeouts, he needed to find a way on, and there he is.
Brings up Alex Garbasic, flied out to center field. His first time up. So I believe we got word that this game will officially be a 6-inning affair. So essentially this 5th might as well be the 8th.
Yep.
It's like it's a Saturday doubleheader. Brown holds, delivers, struggling to find the zone right now.
Yeah, Brown just pulling across right now. He's opening that front shoulder, which is considerably taking his chest straight to the plate and curling that arm to the other side of the plate. A little bit of a different arm angle that these hitters are now seeing besides Banks, who was completely over the top, to Brown now, who's kind of coming on the side. Not entirely, but maybe 5/6, 3/4.
Gets one over for a strike. 2-1 to Garbasic. And a walk an inning is not the spot you want to be at. If there were some weak spots on this team coming out of the pen, the Diamond Hoppers sometimes struggle to throw strikes.
That's the truth. And they have other guys that have shown up in big spots like Caleb Rush, but other times he's had a 3-walk inning. A guy like Don Goods, he's been good at times, but other times he's given up a litter of walks in other outings. Delmas Russ, same deal. So these guys, they got crafty stuff, but at the same time, they're walking and putting on a lot of free passes that have led to late game crumbles.
So as a team coming into the game, as that ball is hit hard on the ground to second, Van Diver can't field it, still tries to flip to second. Would have been too late anyway as Garbasic reaches on the error. Hit it hard and probably would have been a double play.
Van Diver went to go turn the double play without the baseball. Taking a look, it gets to him, and he goes for the transfer, and the ball wasn't in his glove yet. Snuck right underneath the bottom webbing, and then as he retreated to go get the ball back, he left the transfer a little bit high, but Cordell, much too fast. He was there easily.
Brings up the top of the order, Jose Cedeno. First pitch misses away, ball one. As I was saying before the contact, if you look at the pitching staff for the Hoppers coming into the day, 79 walks as a team. However, of those 79, 51 have come from the bullpen.
Wow.
Banks, Carolden, and Kelly have only combined for 28 in, let's call it, 69 innings of work, where the rest have, well, really struggled picking up, again, those other 51 walks in about 50-some innings.
And that's been their only flaw. I think 2 or 3 of their losses this year have come with giving up runs late, especially to this Mammoth team.
Cedeno crushes it to right field going back. Schellenbarger, and that one off the foul pole. Jose Cedeno calls bank, and it's a 4-1 game.
Brady, we mentioned pregame, Cedeno led the team in hits, but all singles, not anymore, baby. Absolute jack to right field, snuck it around the pole and hit it off the yellow piece up top. Big 3-run shot for Jose, his first of the year.
And after that swing in the first inning, you knew he was seeing the ball well tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And you feel a little better for Jose because he should have had at least a double that first time up. He's pumped up going back to the dugout, as he should be. 4-1 lead for the Mammoths here in what is, well, the late innings. Florentino rolls over one. Maddox throw to first, and Florentino retired for out number 1.
It's good to see from Jose, man. Just because he had been hitting the ball square all year long, over the last 4 or 5 games, I'd say he really heightened his bat-to-ball contact and finding gaps. But nothing was too loud. No balls in the gap besides that first swing that he hit out there to center at Roos. And as you mentioned, it seemed like he was starting to get to that point, and he unloaded on that baseball.
Ooh, Nick Pastor. That couldn't have felt good. He's a bit annoyed as he heads down to first, and I don't blame him.
I mean, yeah, that's Pastor's 7th time being hit by a pitch this year. That leads the team, and I think the league. 7 hit by pitches on the year for Nick. He just continues to get plunked.
And it's not like he crowds the plate a ton.
No.
Like, you'll see guys that will stand and their toes are right on that chalk line. Their hands sometimes are over the inner part of the plate. That's not Nick. From all accounts, a very nice guy.
Yeah, the slider just caught him.
Throw over Pastor. Well, that was a quick tag. I thought Pastor was going to be an easily, but the throw and catch and tag made it actually a conversation.
The catch and tag happened simultaneously. It's a nice throw from Brown on the mound.
Fleming was trying to answer the Cedeno home run with one of his own. Comes out empty. That was 88 center cut. 0-1. Brown holds. Off to second. Hughes, the throw down. The tag, but there wasn't a ball in the glove of Van Diver. And that's a stolen base for Nick Pastor.
And with Whit Hughes behind the dish, the one common thing we've seen today when guys have attempted to steal second is the throws are coming to the third base side of second base or the left field side of second base. It makes it so much tougher for your infielder to reach across the bag, make a catch, and then pull it back over.
Throw over to third, and Pastor was feeling his base running skills a little bit.
He thought he had Brown figured out. So he thought he had Brown staring at home plate, focused on the hitter Fleming, and he just got that running start, tried to take third base. No chance there, as it's easier for Brown to have the peripheral vision to see Pastor. As we take another look, he continues to scurry over there, and Brown's going to see that out of the corner of his eye. But if you go from first to second, that's behind the back of a righty pitcher. A lot tougher to snag him if he does that.
Yeah, that was ill-advised from Pastor.
Yep.
I think if it's 1-1, Pastor doesn't get that gutsy.
No. No, Jose definitely influenced that attempt right there to go to third.
2-2 to Drew Fleming. And that's the tough part, because you have Fleming at the plate and with at the time 1 away, but you don't want to take an RBI out of the hands of Fleming. Just missed on the inner part of the plate. Slider nearly came in through the front door.
I mean, he's your 4-hitter for a reason. You have him in that spot to have people on base when he comes up to the dish, and they ran themselves out of an out.
Ball 4, and Fleming works the walk.
Just one hit so far in this inning, by the way. Had a walk to Cordell Dunn Jr. to start, an error on the ground ball from Garbasic to second, and then the homer from Cedeno. Pastor was hit by a pitch, and now Fleming is walked. So 2 walks and a hit batter in the inning for Garrett Brown after giving up the homer to Cedeno.
Well, you mentioned it, the come from behind, or I guess the blown leads rather, from the Diamond Hoppers' perspective. 3 times this year they've lost a lead going into the latter third of the game. Twice it was against the Mammoths, and it was tied here in the 5th, but still that 3-run bomb. The way this game's going feels like it's going to be the difference.
Yeah, and the Westside Woolly Mammoths have just been the kryptonite this year for the Diamond Hoppers, because 10-5, best record in the league, but 3 of those losses come at the hands of Westside for the Hops.
0-2, popped up but out of play. That hit something. You could hear the thud. I don't know if it was the roof above our suites, or again, get nervous when it goes over near the parking lot. 0-2, Fleming over at first. 3 runs have come across the score on the home run from Jose Cedeno. 0-2, another foul back in that same spot.
That's what makes Fox Liam so good and why he draws so many walks. He's not an easy out. If you get him down 0-2, he's going to battle tooth and nail the entire at-bat to stay alive with 2 strikes.
No balls, 2 strikes. Brown looking to get out of this inning. Won't do it with that pitch. High and away, brings the count to 1-2.
And Liam's forcing him to throw some of the off-speed stuff. It was back-to-back fastballs from Brown on 0-2, and Liam spoils both of them. And then you got to go to the off-speed, and he misses way outside. So Fox is going to continue to work that same way through this at-bat until he gets a really good fastball and can drive it. Because remember the last swing from Fox, hot shot line drive to center field that hung up and was caught.
1-2, check swing, fouled. Barreled it up. It was check swing, but he barreled it up. Well, the battle continues here in the 5th. 3 runs already home in the inning. Brown holds, dancing off of first. Was Fleming, ground ball fouled towards that Mammoth dugout, and it just missed Lake Utica in that first base foul area.
Yeah, it's reduced a little bit, but that's because we had leaf blowers out there in between.
Yeah, there it is, right in front of our first base camera. The rest of the field looks great, as you saw from that very nice shot. 1-2. Whoa, nearly caught Liam. Had to bend out of the way. 2-2.
Another really good at-bat from Fox. I mean, this is really good stuff. 14 walks this year compared to 12 strikeouts, and this is why he doesn't go down as many times as he does walk.
2-2. 3-2, unless he went around the appeal, and he did not.
I mean, if you're a young hitter watching this game, you take not only what Cedeno did, Florentino, but this at-bat in Fox Liam right here, falling down early 0-2 and just clawing your way all the way back to a full count. Impressive stuff.
And Brown has to be wondering, what in the heck do I need to do to get Fox Liam out? He's already drawn a walk today. He lined out to center field last time. Payoff pitch. Fouled away. Why not?
He's all over it, just missing by a little bit. That pitch on the outside corner, borderline strike call, had to pop it out of play and spoil it. But credit to Garrett Brown on the mound as well. He's not given Fox anything too good to swing at, because everything's been located pretty solidly.
The 13th pitch of the at-bat awaits, delivers. Ball 4, Fox Liam finds a way on base with the base on balls once again.
And I know maybe that walk doesn't lead to a couple more runs. Maybe it does. But I'm going to say that's one of the best, if not the best at-bat that we've seen here today. Unbelievable stuff from Fox Liam. Wow.
Brings up Colby Seltzer. He was standing in the on-deck circle for a while. I hope he wasn't taking practice swings every time. His arms might be a bit tired after 13 pitches. Ball 1, fastball inside.
And Brown's facing his 8th hitter of the inning. Got to pitch to contact here against Seltzer. Make him make a mistake at the plate and roll one over.
Strikeout and a line out for Colby. Count goes to 2-0. And this inning unwinding for the Diamond Hoppers. Still only one hit allowed. The 2-0 called strike, 2-1. Started off with a walk to Cordell Dunn Jr. Then Alex Garbasic hit a hard ground ball that Van Diver couldn't handle. Cedeno made him pay with a 3-run shot. A ground out, a hit batter, and a couple of walks put us to where we are right now. Pitch in the same spot once again. Colby Seltzer will use his timeout on 2-2.
And the outlook of this inning could be a little bit different if Pastor didn't try to nab third base. It could be one out, bases juiced right now for Seltzer, and a few more runs could potentially be on the board.
Absolutely. Two-two. Hey, you look at that, a foul ball with 2 strikes. Count remains 2-2.
These Mammoths, man, they don't go away quietly.
This next pitch will be the 38th of the inning for Garrett Brown.
Wow.
And over a third of those pitches are attributed to Fox Liam. 2-2. No, too low. About shin high with the fastball. Runners will be off with the pitch. A full count. In danger of walking his 4th of the inning. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Brown stops the bleeding, strands a couple of runners, but it's Jose Cedeno. His home run off the right field foul pole gives the Mammoths the lead as we head to the bottom half of inning number 5. 4-1 Westside here on the USPBL Network.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing. 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early. Giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees. And helping you borrow from your future self. is banking a Fifth Third better.
Bottom of the fifth, 4-1 Westside, as it's the top of the order for the Diamond Hoppers, so a 3-run deficit for Eastside. But Tom, with the top of the order coming up, chance to cut into this lead a little bit.
Oh, yeah. And the hitters coming up for the Hoppers, very dangerous. And Bo Atkins last inning, he did give up a pretty hard swing from Zeb Roos. Other than that, it was good stuff. A strikeout in that inning for Bo, and he's going to continue to keep it at just 1 run for the Hoppers. But that's, easier said than done, because Eastside, they scored more runs than anybody, and it's not close.
Bo Atkins, a pretty good arm on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Besides the the 2 doubles rather, in inning number 3, been a pretty quiet day at the ballpark for the Diamond Hoppers.
It really has. They have a hit in each of their last 3 innings, but other than that, they don't really have much to show for it. It was because of those 2 doubles in the 3rd that led to their run. Got to string it together a few more hits, and tip your cap also to these Mammoths. Besides Trey Cruz walking 2 in the 1st inning, their pitching staff has not allowed many free passes.
So Van Diver, Martin, and Marcoux due up. Bo Atkins, well, if he has as smooth of a 5th as he did a 4th, might get a chance to come out for a potential 6th inning. Blake Van Diver doubled to lead off the 3rd, led to the only Diamond Hopper run of the game.
Van Diver went opposite field, left center as it tailed a little bit all the way to the warning track. He's got some extra base pop. I'd like to see him find a way on, maybe swipe a bag and get in scoring position.
Atkins out of the windup. First pitch misses away, ball 1. Atkins, after a lengthy stay in the dugout, let's see if it takes him a little bit to recalibrate. That was a long half inning for the Mammoths.
It was. I mean, you face 8 different batters, but nearly 2 of those hitters were about, 6-7 minutes.
I was going to say 20 pitches, yeah. 1-1. Jam shot foul. That slider broke in on the hands of Van Diver very quickly, and I think he was sitting fastball.
He was. That's nothing new for Bo. Just continuing to move that ball east to west across the field, or across the strike zone, and make these guys look foolish at times.
Strike 3 called, inner part of the plate. Van Diver doesn't like it, but he has to take the long, lonely walk back to the 3rd base dugout all the same. 1 up, 1 down.
And that couldn't have been placed any better. Right on the black inside corner. Van Diver, from his vantage point, looks like ball 2. That's right on the corner.
Back-to-back punch-outs for Bo Atkins. Nobody on, 1 away for Bailey Martin. He takes ball 1.
We've noticed the top of the zone not getting a ton of favors. The bottom of the zone is catching more strikeouts than the top so far today.
And a bit away as well.
Yeah.
That one caught a lot of the plate just above the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's mostly outside. I mean, that was an inside pitch called to Van Diver, but that was right in the zone. Sometimes our home plate umpire will give about a baseball's width off the plate for a strike, but that's usually outside to a righty, outside to a lefty. Not too many times inside will they be called if it's off the plate.
Martin fouls it straight back, 2-2. Atkins attacking these Diamond Hopper hitters as we knew he would. Only 2 walks so far of the season, and doesn't seem like that'll change anytime soon.
He continues to just challenge these hitters, go right at him and live in the strike zone. He does not waste many pitches out of the zone.
There's a waste pitch out of the zone.
As soon as I said it.
You've been on some of those more than you've been off, but that was a poorly timed waste.
Brutal. It was 2-2. I was not expecting him to throw on opposite
I don't know if he was aiming for that spot. 3-2, doesn't matter, gets the punch out. 91 down the pipe. Martin can't catch up to it. 3 straight punch outs for Atkins.
Wow. I mean, replicating what we saw from Pierce Banks, just mixing in the off speed and then dialing in a fastball inside, tying up the hands of Martin. Tough to go get that pitch. It was upper zone. Couldn't get the barrel there.
Noah Marcoux takes ball 1 inside. Now, if there's ever a guy that's in scoring position at home plate, it's Marcoux. 4 home runs on the year. Watches an off-speed over the plate, 1-1. Atkins gave up a single to Zeb Roos to lead it off. He's retired 5 straight. 2-1 to Marcoux. And even with the first 2 retired, I know Atkins doesn't walk a ton, but you can work around Marcoux.
I completely agree with that. I know you got other dangerous hitters behind him.
Or you can hit Marcoux. Saves you a couple pitches.
Just crept a little bit too far inside with the off-speed there. We saw Pastor get hit last frame on a similar pitch. Now a chance with 2 gone for the Hoppers. Got a guy like Matt Gehrig at the dish. Already has an RBI double today. The only run scored for the Hops. Then you got Ben Ferguson if they get there.
First pitch, slider over for a strike. 0-1 was the first hit batter by Atkins this year. Again, elite command for Atkins, the 0-1. Skips away from Beadle, and just like that, we have a runner in scoring position. Oh, it got in the water behind home plate. So it was called a dead ball.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to, on a pass ball or something like that, they're not going to award an extra base. It was probably only on something in play, or if it was a throw into the puddle of Lake Utica down there on first base side.
1-1 to Gehrig. 2-1 to Gehrig. Slider missed away.
And here's the thing about Bo is he can miss those sliders down and outside, and he can fall down 2-1, 3-1 in a count, but he's able to work back and challenge hitters just like he did against Bailey Martin when he wasted one down and away and then threw a 4-seam fastball right at him.
2-1. Missed just a bit high and away. 3-1. Runner in scoring position in the form of Noah Marcoux. 3-1 finds the zone to bring the count to 3-2. 4-1 Mammoths after the Jose Cedeno 3-run blast in the top half of the inning. Again, we're only going 6 tonight. Well, it's down to the final 4 outs for the Diamond Hoppers. 3-2. Swing and a miss. 90 miles an hour just below the letters, and Gehrig swings through it. Atkins strikes out the side. He has 4 in relief. We head to the 6th. 4-1 Mammoths on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
Top of the 6th. Don Goods on the mound for the Diamond Hoppers, trying to keep this deficit right where it's at 4-1.
Yeah, Goods, one of the few lefties on this Hopper team. He's got 11 walks in 10 innings of work, but he has allowed 6 hits in those 10 and a third innings. And he is the only pitcher, Brady, in the entire USPBL to not allow a hit against the curveball. Don Goods, as we look at his walk to strikeout ratio, he's got 4 more walks than strikeouts, and that's been his issue this year. But at other times, when he does keep those walks low in other outings, he's been very effective. Don's making his 8th relief appearance here tonight.
Yeah, those walk numbers, again, we talked about it. Just the Diamond Hopper bullpen as a whole struggled with command, and Goods not immune to that. But the good news is when he puts it in the zone, the batting average against is under 200. In fact, almost everyone in the Diamond Hoppers in the bullpen is under 200. They don't get hit hard, but they give up so many free passes, and it shows up in the line score tonight. The Mammoths tonight have 2 hits, a home run and a double, but when you walk a guy, when you give up an error, it's going to add up, and that's what's happened to the Hoppers here tonight.
3 of the 4 runs that have been scored tonight have come via the error or free pass. And with Don Goods on the mound as well, you talk about those 11 walks. The reason a lot of those runners are coming around to score is because he has 7 wild pitches this year. So if you walk a guy, put him on first, boom, 2 wild pitches in an inning, puts him on third base with less than 2 outs, and then just a slow ground ball finds the way to get the run in. So being able to keep those free passes and those wild pitches down and stay in the zone here, facing the last third of the Mammoth lineup, could have yourself a good inning and keep it at 4-1, looking to claw back in the bottom half of the 6th.
Bottom third of the order, Beetle, Dunn Jr., and Garbasic. First pitch, misses ball 1. And Goods will come at you with a fastball, a changeup, a slider, and a curveball. The lefty delivers, misses away 2-0, and that's not a good start for a guy who struggled with command.
He's missing outside both times. He's not letting it completely out front, a little bit behind his chest, and that's why it's fading the baseball arm side away.
2-0. Swing and a foul, back out of play.
Beetle hunting for that one. Got a nice fastball at just under 90 miles an hour and tried to whack it.
Goods comes set the pitch. Low and in, 3-1. Whit Hughes going to come out and have a conversation with Goods. He must see something from behind the plate.
Yeah. He's caught so many of these pitchers numerous times that it's part of being a catcher, being able to identify certain mechanical issues or maybe a pitch grip or the communication between pitcher and catcher to what pitch you want to throw, and being able to identify those and take time in the middle of a game and go out there and talk to them and make those quick fixes. That's all about a part of being a catcher, and it's a very good job by Whit Hughes recognizing that and going out and trying to make that quick fix before things get out of hand here. It's 3-1 to Beetle. He's got a good hitter's count. But if I'm any of these Mammoth hitters and you're looking for a few insurance runs, make Don Goods throw you a strike before you start swinging.
3-1. Fouled well out of play. That pitch was dead red center of the plate, and Beetle was just a bit behind on it.
Middle with the fastball. I don't mind Goods doing that again, but Beetle probably won't miss it twice in a row.
3-2. Swing and a tapper foul.
Just got a piece, a little bit of run out of the lefty's hand in Goods. And whatever Hughes said on those last 2 pitches at least helped correct.
Hughes also has the moniker of player coach. So been noticed for his baseball acumen, his IQ. It's another foul ball, and that's what we need, another long woolly mammoth at bat. So a lot of the times if Mike Rice isn't here for the Diamond Hoppers, you'll see Whit over on the first base side on his off days playing the role of Coach Hughes instead of catcher Whit.
I've seen Pierce Banks over at first base being a coach
I have as well, yes. Because Whit can't be in 2 places at once.
Right.
3-2.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
This is pitch number 9 of the at-bat coming up. Had a 13-pitch affair an inning ago with Fox Liam. And the 9th pitch made it about 80% of the way to the plate for ball 4.
Yeah, breaking pitch that broke way too early. Another walk for the Hopper pitching, and that's really just been the theme today. I know Cedeno went deep and Florentino had an RBI double, but those runs that were scored by those 2 big swings were walks and an error. We've seen a walk in 4 of the last 5 innings for these Hopper pitchers, and you also got to credit the Mammoth hitters because that was not an easy at-bat for Beadle. He had to fight for that walk.
Yeah, of the walks they've grabbed, not many of them have been non-competitive.
Right. Only a few have, and one of them came out of the hand of Pierce Banks when he made his start. That was one of the only ones today. Everybody has really fought through at-bats, and the pitchers, too, clawing back from 3-0 and 3-1 counts.
0-1. Wave and a miss. Dunn swings through another pitch up in the zone.
Yeah, those are 2 now that are above the zone that he hacked at. And against a guy like Goods that just walked the leadoff man, didn't have a ton of control. Cordell's free swinging up there.
Goods comes set. Working ahead in the count. That's a good sign for the lefty. The southpaw kicks and deals. Swinging a ball hit much higher than it is far, and that's out of play on the third base side.
If that ball does stay in play anytime in the last 6 outs of our ball game, those corner infielders have got to be weary of the ground, not slipping, jumping in a puddle. So checking the ground while still looking up in the air and trying to survey for the baseball, that's a lot tougher than it looks.
Let's do the 0-2 once again. Misses inside. 1-2 to Cordell. Worked a walk last time up. I wouldn't put it past any Mammoth hitter to come from 0-2 and work a walk the way this game's gone. Puts it on the ground to third. Maddox, chin high hop over to second for 1. Relay off the mark and not in time. Don't know if they would have gotten done anyway, but the fielder's choice records out number 1.
Good turn from Maddox. As you said, chin high grab, so it was right in his throwing wheelhouse. And he striped a bullet down to second base at Van Diver. Just didn't have the turn in time. Cordell Jr.'s got some speed. I mean, that's perfect. Right on the money, and the relay was just a little bit up the line.
I don't know if they get it even with a perfect strike.
You're right.
Have to imagine Van Diver knew he had to get it out quickly. That's probably why the throw was a bit off the line. Garbasic watches ball 1. Miss above the letters. Reached on an error last time up. Goods would love another hard hit ground ball, just like Garbasic had last time. Called strike, 1-1. 4-1 Mammoths. The difference has been a Jose Cedeno home run off basically the top of the right field foul pole. One in the dirt, 2-1. Short, cautious lead for Dunn over at first. Goods comes set the 2-1. Oh, that one Hughes didn't even have a chance to grab. Scooting up to second, Dunn, and there's a runner in scoring position for Westside here in the 6th.
Garbasic knows he has not had much to swing at. So you see that pitch, not close. Hughes. I mean, you got to have Superman reflexes to try to snag that baseball. Goods threw that pretty fast at 88 miles an hour.
And Wint is a big guy. He's listed at 6'5". It's a whole lot of human behind the dish as the 3-1 pitch misses. A walk to the 9-hole hitter. Second of the inning. Runners on first and second with one away for Jose Cedeno.
The problems for Don Goods, just continuing in that same spot of the walks. It's now 13 walks for Don as he's picked up 2 in this inning. Cedeno, the lefty-on-lefty matchup. Let's see what he does with it.
First pitch hit hard to second. Van Diver spins, throws to second, won't get an out. Martin couldn't pick it, and the bases are loaded.
That's a tough play for Van Diver. He had to field forehand style and then throw off his back foot with all of his momentum heading towards right field. No pick. In a situation like this, you're down 3 runs. Just look for the 1 out. If Van Diver is able to go to first and get Cedeno there to keep more speed off the base paths, I think that's probably the better play there.
Still waiting to see if that's going to be a hit or an error scored. That's a tough, even if he tries to go to first, then you're throwing almost against your body. Right. That's a tough one without planting. As Florentino grounds one to third, past the glove of Maddox. No, a foul ball. Whoa.
Interesting.
That hit the glove of Maddox. I'll have to take a look at the replay, but Tom, I wasn't thinking fair or foul there.
No, Todd was firmly in fair territory. Interesting. Florentino down 0-2 for the second time today.
Can we get a replay on that? That would be awesome. You're fine.
Couple walks and an error. That's exactly what set up the Mammoths for 3 more runs in the 5th inning. They're looking to do it again.
So a break for the Hoppers as, man, that was, hey, there's a reason the umpires don't sit up here in the press box.
Mm-hmm.
But he was very emphatic with the call and made it right away. The 0-2 goes to 1-2. Now the good news is Goods has gotten some ground balls. So if he can get one just right at someone, a little bit of help, maybe he's able to make a play. 1-2, lifted foul. Over at third, Cordell Dunn Jr., Garbasic on second, and Cedeno over at first. Goods trying to keep this a 3-run game. Lifted, that one's going to drop. Schellenbarger, all he can do is fake that it's going to go into the glove, and it's a bloop single for Florentino and another RBI for Francis, number 17 on the year.
That man continues to find a way to drop baseballs in, whether it's a screamer down the line, hitting a bomb on a walk-off to left center field, or a jam shot floater out to right field. Francis hits to all fields, and he finds a way to drive in runs with bases loaded. You just got to laugh at it at this point. He just continues to get it done for his boys.
And that makes up for the next time he hits one on the screws right at someone.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it earlier with Fox Liam. Baseball has a way of evening that all out. Now, it might not be over the course of a week or a month or even half a season, but over a long while, those usually find a way to even out. Oh, 2 to Nick Pastor. Was hit by a pitch last time. He's stolen 2 bases, was caught once. Bases loaded with 1 away. The pitch outside, 1-2. Goods comes set the pitch. Misses outside, 2-2.
How about the 2 international guys for the Westside Woolly Mammoths driving in all 5 runs today? Cedeno from Venezuela and Francis Florentino from the Dominican Republic.
2-2, fouled straight back by Pastor. He's looking to get on the RBI train. 0 for 1 today. He's been walked and hit by a pitch. Flied out to right the other time. Goods delivers. Swing and a line drive, base hit. That'll score at least 1. Cedeno coming in behind Garbasic, and this game has been blown wide open. 7-1 Mammoths.
A couple of walks and an error sets you up for disaster. And those balls both hit from Florentino and Pastor. Not incredibly hard hits. They just float in there. Francis went opposite field, got it to drop in right, and Pastor gets it a little bit on the handle and uses his muscle to get it out in the right center gap. A couple of singles to the right side lead to 3 more runs, and they were based off of the original 2 walks and an error from the Hoppers.
Brings up Drew Fleming. The first pitch gets away from Hughes. Pastor will stay put. 7-1 Mammoths here in the 6th. This will be the final inning, so the job just got a lot harder for Eastside's lineup in the bottom half of inning number 6.
Mm-hmm.
One and one to Drew Fleming. Florentino on third, Pastor on first.
Drew still looking to put the ball past the pitcher today. He grounded back to the mound in the 3rd inning.
Grounds ball that has eyes. Base hit for Drew Fleming. And it's 8-1 Mammoths. 3 straight at-bats with an RBI for Westside.
3 straight singles lead to another couple runs. 8-1 score in the 6th. Here comes, nope, sorry. Head coach Taylor Chelikowski was coming back out of the dugout for a second. I got tripped up for a moment.
He does stand way away from that third base bag. Hard hit ball past Van Diver. Liam looking to pick up an RBI. Racing around third in to score Pastor. Fleming up to third, and Liam's on first. That makes it 5 straight at-bats with a hit, 4 straight at-bats with an RBI.
This team's pretty darn good, man. I mean, Cedeno, your leadoff man, has a 3-run bomb. Florentino's got 2 RBIs on the day. Pastor, Fleming, and Liam all in order, picking up a few more. Well done from Westside. And they're making the Hoppers pay late. 4 walks and 2 errors in the last 2 innings are leading to, 8 runs in the last 2 frames. Wow. Ninth batter of the inning, by the way, Brady.
That's a lot. Colby Seltzer ended inning number 5 with a strikeout. Looking to join, well, he's the only one that has not reached base today in one form or another for the Mammoths. Has a chance to make it 5 straight at-bats with an RBI. 2-0 the count. Liam dancing over at first. The pitch comes. 2-1. 2 balls and a strike with runners on the corners. 5 runs home in the inning. It's 9-1 Mammoths. 2-1 in the dirt. 3-1. Good's about to throw pitch 39 this inning.
Just like Garrett Brown last frame, he threw over 40 pitches in the 5th.
And another walk. 3rd of the inning. And that is the 7th straight batter to reach.
Wow. Yeah, Cordell Dunn Jr. in the 8th spot, who is now sitting on deck. He was the last to be retired, and that was on a fielder's choice. Everything that Westside's putting in play right now, besides the Florentino and Pastor bloop singles, have been hard hit. Fleming and Liam with laser beam swings.
Well, Zach Beadle walked his first time up this inning. If he walks again, he can pick up an RBI. Goods set the 1-0. In the dirt, 2-0.
See if these Hoppers can't roll a double play.
They've had chances.
They have had chances.
2-0. Check swing did not go. 3-0, and Goods is in danger of walking in the 10th run of the game for the Mammoths.
They spun out of control in the 5th. Just walks and errors, plus the Cedeno home run, and then 4 straight singles have led to, frankly, a blowout at this point, up 9-1 in the top of the 6th inning.
Was a pretty competitive game not that long ago, Tom.
Not that long ago at all.
Not anymore. 3-1. Not a bad pitch, but it's ball 4 anyway. Zach Beadle gets himself an RBI on the walk.
And Brady, we mentioned this when Brown was coming into the contest, just based off of you broke down the numbers on how many walks the bullpen had compared to the starters. Go ahead.
So due to time constraints, we are getting the word that the game is being suspended due to time constraints and will be completed at another time, which I don't believe is tonight. Everyone is finding this out at the same time. So the bases are loaded. It's a 10-1 game, and it looks like we're calling this game right now. And all right, it's 10-1. So I guess we can't do a post-game show with a suspended game. We'll take a break, come back. We'll wrap it up when we come back on the USPBL network.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Back here on the USPBL suspended game post-game show as it's 10-1 Westside. It's going to be resumed at another time, but Tom, just some final thoughts before we go home.
Definitely. It was a great start from Pierce Banks once again. 4 innings, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 run. Trey Cruz returned the favor with 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, and 1 run of baseball. It was good stuff on both sides. The game turned out of control in the 5th inning when Jose Cedeno went deep for a 3-run shot. And 4 straight singles from Florentino, Pastor, Fleming, and Liam for the Mammoths, with a couple of walks mixed in there as well, is what led to the game spinning out of control. And that's what kind of sent this game into a postponement, or a rescheduling, if you will, because of the score being 10-1 in the 6th inning. It was a good day of baseball. I was glad to be on the call with you, Brady. Excited for another doubleheader tomorrow. But, I mean, it was the walks and the errors in the last 2 innings for the Hopper bullpen is what led to a lot of those 9 runs. And I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. And these Hoppers just cannot find a way to win against Westside this year. 4-0 our Westside if this game resumes at some point.
It's the Beavers and the Unicorns tomorrow, starting at 5:15 for the pregame show for a doubleheader. Tom Cavanaugh will be on the call. He'll be joined by Carter Lutz. As for tonight, thank you so much for joining us. This game has been suspended in the 6th inning. 10-1 Mammoths on top. For my partner, Tom Cavanaugh, I'm Brady Beaton. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Thursday night.